So, as I left off in the introduction, the old horse Major and I were joining the three girls. We were going to go down to the park. It's less than a quarter of a mile away, just up over the railroad tracks, down into Lakeview subdivision, a little wee bit across the field, over a bridge into the park. Countless times. Now, Major always liked getting off the farm. Being a very intelligent, alert animal, he really liked it. He'd plod along with his head swinging around. New places, new things, new people. Subdivision worked especially well, right? He's going to get hyperglycemic with sugar cubes and apples from all the kids playing in the summer in the subdivision. But not today, not that day anyways, is what I mean. He's grumpy from being awoken from his nap, and it is really hot. So he's plodding along with that dark, cartoon cloud over his head. He's sulking. Lori turned on several occasions. Can't you get that old nag to pick his feet up? Come on, we're hot. Major's got a major pout on. So we come to the bridge, which crosses the school creek, which our creek was a tributary to. Now there's a bridge across there that has a steel frame, a wooden deck. You can drive a pickup truck across it, and the town works did, and the odd errant young buck messing with the cops as he tours around town. The old horse has crossed it a million times. Well, dozens, countless times. He balks. It's not crossing the bridge. There's water there. I can't get him to cross the stream. No amount of heels lashing with the reins. I get off and tug on him. No way. His heels are dug in. Lori and Rhonda said, wow, we got no time for this. It's hot. We're headed for the shade. Cindy hung out to watch as I battled the horse. She'd just moved up from the city. It was her first horse. She was new to the farm, and anything to do with horses, she just was going to watch and learn, right? But nothing I can do to get this horse to cross the bridge. I tried to get him to jump the stream. No, he won't jump the stream. So I said to Cindy, well, I'll go up and around the road. Join you gals in the park. You may as well get to the shade. No point in coming with me. So Major and I are stewing along. We turn. We go back across the field. It's a soccer field now. Not, 100 yards out to the highway. He goes to turn left to go home. I'm like, no, turning right. We're going to the park. He turns and looks at me like, you have got to be kidding. I'm like, I saved you from an Elpo can, and I can send you there yet. Now do what I say. So he turns towards the park, but I can see his ears twitching, and they're getting further and further back. Watch a horse's ears. It's how they communicate. So it's not 50 yards down the road, and I mean, it's the main street of town. It's a highway. It's actually two highways, 7 and 25 overlap. Where the school creek goes under the road, I mean, that's what it does. It goes under the road in a culvert. Probably 90% of the traffic that would flow across there wouldn't even notice. There's nothing to signify it's a bridge, except a couple of big old tubular steel guardrails on either side, and the fact that there isn't a house there on each side where the stream goes through the culvert. He stops dead on the sidewalk, playing the water card, not crossing it. I'm like, really? The ears are back all the way, really? Now, bear in mind, I never had a saddle for him. I would have had to have one custom made. His withers were that high and his back so swayed. All right, old horse, you know what this means. I switched from a one-handed English grip on the reins or Western grip, to a two-handed grip. And sure you want to do this, horse? He's like, yeah, I'm sure. So off come the gloves, and we go at her, elbows and knees. Now, you see on TV or westerns at the rodeo, the bucking broncs. Sorry. Well, that's the cowboy is giving the horse his head and allowing him to use all of his power to rear, buck, twist, kick, run, jump. In reality, you don't want that to happen. Now, a horse is controlled by its head. As much as they're massively powerful, they have to follow their head. Envision a horse that's at a gallop. You turn its head left, the horse has to turn left or it's just going to run right off its feet and crash. So you control the horse with its head. So he's doing his best to unsaddle me, is the term, and dash for home. And I'm not letting him win this contest of wills. So, I mean, it immediately spills off the sidewalk out onto the road. Traffic begins to back up. Now, this is like in 1971 or something. Our town was not yet a bedroom community of Toronto, and despite the fact it's Main Street North and 2 highways, there's not a lot of traffic. But it does back traffic up in both directions pretty quickly. And now, again, farming community, so nobody's upset about it, right? Nobody gets freaking out pulling the Karen thing or anything. Some of the people get out and lean on the hood of their cars. Others just sit there and watch. The words of encouragement from farming folk, men and women alike, you know. Don't let our old horse get his way. Don't let that nag unsaddle you, boy. This sort of stuff. And a few vehicles to the north, they see a familiar yellow dump truck. An older boy from up the road, big fellow with a big booming voice. He's yelling words of encouragement. Don't let that old horse get the better of you there, little Sales. A few horns politely, you know. Encouragement, not move. So the horse and I are spinning around doing battle in the middle of the road, and up pulls a cruiser. And now, it should be said, we just switched from having Ontario Provincial Police to getting our own municipal police department. So out steps this young rookie cop. I mean, you could shave with the crease in his uniform pants. Shoes are shined, burn a hole in your retina. He says, what's going on here? The traffic's backed up down around the corner. Well, I'm trying to explain to him why I have to do this while the horse and I are battling. He steps out of the car. He's totally buffaloed by this whole thing. He doesn't get it, right? I'm like, you know, you can't let a horse win in a contest of wills. He'll forever be your master and not you his. And meanwhile, I'm covered in sweat. The horse is covered in sweat. I'm covered in horse sweat and horse spittle and horse snot. And the old horse is bound and determined, and so am I. And so the cop steps out of his cruiser. He's like, well, can't you do it somewhere else? I'm like, no. The horse lives in the moment. It has to be done now. So he's standing around looking confused. Horse and I are still duking it out. I feel Major begin to start to tire underneath me. So I guess Major realizes he's going to lose the battle as well. I mean, this isn't our first contest of wills by any means, and it's not my first rodeo, to use a tired phrase. I mean, they plunked me in the saddle when I was still in 3-corner pants. So he's still as angry as all get out with them mirrors pinned back. He makes a dash for the railing up on the sidewalk. Now, this is a low blow. It crosses the boundaries of, I mean, we've been at it, but still, there's, you know, rules. Ain't gonna break my leg, this fool old horse. So I let him get 2 strides in. Just gave him his head, and he put her down. He's running for that railing. And just as he went to turn the left to scrub me off, I pulled his head high and to the right, ran him chest first into the railing. Tactical error. He sees the water gleaming 8 feet down below, and he loses his mind. I'm still mad, enraged that he'd pull this low blow on me. So as he's reeling back, I yank his head down hard to the left, kick him in the snout, lash his ears with the reins, and I've thrown him completely off balance, with high and then low to the other side, every muscle in his body straining, and the curb, that 5.5 inches. He lost his footing, stumbling over it, and his hooves were slashing, his unshod hooves slashing on the hot tarmac. He's reeling across the road, and I realized to my horror, he's coming off his feet. So I leap off his back unthinkingly. I land on the hood of the cruiser, and the horse wails right into the side of the cruiser. Big crumpling metal sound, and the cruiser's rocking. So I'll leave the chapter here because it only gets better.